Okay, so with my Black Friday physical pickups now live over on the channel, you can check that out right now. Well, not right now, watch this video first, then head there, because today we're going to be taking a look at my eShop buys during the digital store's own Black Friday / Cyber Monday sale. Let's get our indie on, hit subscribe, join the family. We really appreciate you all as we head on that road to 2,000 subscribers. Of course, hit like, then leave us a comment below with your eShop pickups. Any suggestions you might have for us, we always appreciate them that we should go and grab right now. But with that, let's get this started. So first up, we've got Mana Sparks, reduced from $9.99 to just 90 cents. I love a good deal. This one, it was easily a reduction that had me pulling out that bank card and adding this one to the collection. It's a dungeon crawler with RPG elements and then twin stick shooter controls. That's basically how you fire that pretty badass looking bow and arrow. I picked this one up personally because simply it's just got a lot of elements that appeal to me. This one, from what I know, it's got about 6-7 hours of gameplay. It's another roguelite, so expect to die a lot as usual, but at this point, why wouldn't I want to add it to my collection? And with this one, don't think I'm just buying anything. I was passing up games at 11 cents. I only have so much space on my micro SD card, so I like to think I choose wisely. Next up, the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, and do I really need to say any more than that? What a great collection of 8 games. From the NES, we have Castlevania, released back in 1986, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, released in 1987, Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, this one's from 1989, that's my personal favourite in this collection. Then from the SNES, we have Super Castlevania 4, released in 1991. From the Game Boy, we have Castlevania The Adventure from 1989, Belmont's Revenge from 1991, Bloodlines, a Sega Genesis, or as I knew it growing up, the Mega Drive, which much better name by the way. This one's from 1994. And then finally, Kid Dracula, never released in English before. This was on the Game Boy and the NES in Japan in 1991. It looks kind of quirky, this one. I can see why, it was never released originally overseas, but I'm excited here to get a chance to check it out. So yeah, 8 great games that I have a few of the original cards, I'll say that much, but I love the fact that I get to bring them all together here in one package, and all for a bargain price here. $9.99 reduced from 20 bucks. These 2D side scrollers deserve any action fan's attention. And here we even get an awesome digital art book, guidebook with history of the series, box art, development information. It's clear a lot of effort went into this one. It's a must own fans of the series or anyone who simply wants to see what is a genre defining series. Okay, so to preface this next one, the best thing about these digital sales, it's the ridiculous prices that allow you to take some risks in games that just weren't quite, the right price originally for you, or maybe reviewed poorly, but you still wanted to, there's still something at the back of your mind saying, give this one a go, you want to. And this for me is one of them, Castle of Heart. And I'm probably going to regret it, but when I first saw this one previewed before release, I was excited, and then reviews came out. They were less than positive, let's just say that, so I decided to skip on it. Now though, it's $1.49, I'm jumping in and I'm going to give it a go. It's a really big difference from its typical $15 price point. I just like the concept here overall. You've been cursed and your health slowly depletes as you advance through a level because you're turning to stone. You'll even lose a few limbs along the way. Now as you progress through these levels though, you can pick up hearts which replenish your health, and it stops the curse from taking effect. Tell me that's not just an awesome concept, and the whole time you get to play as a badass knight. We need more knights in video games in my opinion, so that's why I'm here. I'm looking forward to making up my own mind though on this one. I'm sure the complaints are very real for this 2D scrolling platform action adventure. I'm sure it has more than enough problems, but at $1.49 instead of 15 bucks, it's gonna be a little easier to, digest these problems. Okay, so the next one, this one, it's pure indie game perfection. $4.99 instead of 20 bucks. I have this on the PS4, but getting a portable version, I'm in. Transistor. From the same developers of Bastion, this isometric action RPG is just so much fun. It's a must buy in my opinion, and this was just the right price point for me to go ahead and double dip. Cyberpunk art design, great action, and combat here that's just stunning. It's a really great story as well. It actually got me emotionally invested. And then if that's not enough, you even get a talking sword. Oh, and the soundtrack too, it's just beautiful. Absolute must own. Just go buy it. You won't regret it. I'm not going to give too much away about this one. Everybody just has to experience it. So please, trust me, give it a go. Okay, so next up, another risky one, Lichtspear Double Spear Edition. I always wanted this one, but $9.99, it just didn't seem like a fair price, honestly. Right now though, at 99 cents, I'm again more than happy to pay. I love the look of the art style here. That's the big draw for me. We get 10 levels total, and essentially what we seem to have here is something similar to a wave-based defense title. Here though, you're the hero and you're throwing spears at enemies on a 2D plane. Like most in the genre, it's gonna start easy, but my understanding is this one, it ramps in difficulty pretty quickly. And then it's going to start to require you to make more headshots, you know, and balance increasing number of enemies. So strategy is going to start to take over what initially is kind of going to be an arcadey experience. Okay, so now another double dip, Danmaku Unlimited free. I have the limited run release of this, but I just wanted an easier way to take it on the go. This one even has vertical portrait mode. It's great fun with my flip grip, and when I travel, I do normally take that along with me. This one, it's probably one of my favorite shmups right now on the Switch. They just get so many things here, right? This one, it's just bullet hell goodness. It's not easy, that's for sure. Your screen's gonna go absolutely crazy and filled to the brim. It has a nice difficulty curve though, I'll give it that for those new to the genre. It's addictive, you get this cool mechanic where it rewards you for taking risks and being closer to enemy bullets. If you're a bullet hell shmup fan, you're not gonna regret dropping, you know, $2.49 on this one. Instead of the typical 10 bucks, it's an absolute steal in my opinion. Okay, so my last risky pick for this list today, Ninja Clash of Carrots. Winner for the strangest title today, that's for sure. I mean, it's a ridiculous title, but here, the art style, again, it just screamed out to me. This one, it's another 99 cents game down from like 10 bucks. So I'm okay with it if I don't get too much out of it, but we'll see. What we have here though is basically an endless runner auto scroll with beat 'em up, almost shooter like mechanics layered onto this. The game goes like this basically, the screen auto scrolls, pretty standard. You can then speed up or slow down, then you attack forward or backwards with your sword. Upgrade your weapons here though, challenge yourself to keep on progressing through increasingly challenging waves, and it's all then packaged with that really unique art style I mentioned. That's about it, that's my only reason for picking it up, honestly. It's a risky one, but it looks like it could be a bit of fun. Okay, so now let's talk about my final 4 pickups, maybe 5. I'm arguing with myself about picking up just one more right now, but these ones, they all come from Devolver Digital. They definitely took a good percentage of my bank account this year. But let's start things off with Broforce, down from 15 bucks to 3.74. This one, it's a run and gun title, and it doesn't do too much different from others in the genre, but it does have just a couple of small factors that really adds its own twist to things. First, pretty much everything you see in this game in front of you is destructible. It adds not only to the entertainment, but to the strategy of how you play and how you approach your enemies. Next up, probably most appealing to almost everyone out there though, it's the homage to 80s action movies, and some 90s are snuck in there as well. Here, when you die, you get a new bro that's auto-picked, and while these of course are not licensed, expect to see characters like RoboCop, Rambo, Braveheart, Judge Dredd, Jean-Claude Van Damme, who's Time Bro, great name. Who doesn't want to destroy environments and kill enemies as these characters? Even the enemy design, it goes everywhere from, you know, cannon fodder, army troops through to aliens. What do I expect here? Mindless fun, and I'm pretty confident this one, it's easily going to deliver that. Okay, so next up, not a hero, a super snazzy edition. A 2D scrolling shooter with Devolver's typical twisted sense of humour. Here, a bunny lord, that's right, a bunny lord, travels back in time to be elected as president or mayor, one of the two, and promises to lower crime rates. That's where we come in. We combat crime by basically killing everyone, because that's what Devolver does. Each mission not only has core goals though, but secondary and third ones, which should really help with the longevity of this game. It is very adult, so do expect violence, lots of blood, adult humour, loads of language. But they're some of the main reasons I picked this one up. I love Devolver for it. They just go crazy. This one as well, it's just a nice mix up to the genre. It has a cover mechanic that, as early in as I am, it works really well. It adds to that kind of typical run and gun strategy on a 2D plane. I'm going to be bold and say this one at $2.59 down from $13 was $3 well spent. Okay, so with that, now we get a Devolver digital game where we get to see a lot of their returning characters, a homage to what they've done over the last few years in the industry. And this one, it comes in the form of I Hate Running Backwards. Here we get to play a Serious Sam from, well, Serious Sam. Richard from Hotline Miami, Rambro from Broforce, The Bullet from Enter the Gungeon, and Lo Wang from Shadow Warrior, to name just a few. I always enjoy the titles that celebrate a company and its history. It's a nice way to revisit some characters that we maybe don't necessarily get to see too often. This one reduced down to $3.74 from $15. That big discount didn't hurt in the decision-making process. What we essentially get here though is a reverse shmup. Your character is actually at the top of the screen here, shooting down at waves of enemies. You'll be destroying obstacles that may show up in your path, and while being at the top of the screen, you're running backwards, hence the name, you know, I hate running backwards. I'm not expecting too much here in the way of depth, that's for sure, but with tons of weapon upgrades, you know, characters I really like, ramping difficulty, no doubt addictive gameplay. I expect to sink a good few hours into this one, and I think it's going to be a pick up and play 15 minutes at a time kind of title. Okay, so last up, the Red Strings Club, again from Devolver Digital, down here from $15 to like $7.49. This, it was a bit more of an expensive risk for me, but it's got me curious, and I doubt we're going to see it any cheaper anytime soon, so I decided to dive in. I just can't resist a good cyberpunk world. This one, it's basically a visual novel with small sequences that you control. Don't come here basically looking for action. Come here for heavy dialogue selection, but very little in the way of actual gameplay itself. Revolving around a bar, your job is to get information though from visitors coming in for a drink. How do you do this? Well, first of all, there's obviously conversational trees. They're going to guide the conversation, and that's going to be 90% of the game here. But then you can also get mini games almost, where you have to create an emotional reaction for your patrons to give up the information. How do we do that? Alcohol, of course. So where's the gameplay? Well, think, like I said, small mini games. We mix the drinks to get the customers to say what we need. We get to carve out human implants that will also help in our investigation. It's nothing too involving. It's going to be an acquired taste for sure, but I'm looking forward to getting into it. You know, 5 to 6 hour story. If Devolver can do anything, it's to put out a weird ass and unique storyline, and for that reason, I'm happy. I'm in on this one. Let's give it a go. Okay, so that's it, my Switch eShop pickups, and this was honestly a tough one for me. You could easily spend just so much money in this sale, but I'm happy with everything I've picked up this far. I am still thinking about going back, picking up one more Devolver digital title, Crossing Souls. Can't make my mind up. I think I've got enough, more than enough to keep me going, but I am still kind of tempted. But have you played any of these games? What are your thoughts on these ones? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to hit like, hit subscribe. We truly do appreciate it as we see this channel grow. The support's been just absolutely amazing. And we'll see you all soon on the next Gaming X.
Well, busy and pretty, just making believe.